All right, get back in here, Leland Live, Talk 99, five of you. The further south you are in the listening area, the greater the chance of you getting a nice, steady, soaking rain tonight. This shouldn't have any severe parameters in it whatsoever, except for maybe a little further south outside of our listening area. But for the most part, it's just more rain to continue to help with the almost 2 month long drought that the state was dealing with. Indeed, a large part of the southeast. That's as we get Friday going. Should be nice after that, but a much cooler weekend. We'll see some sunshine tomorrow finally. Work Trucks bringing you the show tonight. TRUX, WorkTrucksLLC.com. Of course, you've heard about them for years here on the show. These guys are good. They have pre-owned commercial vehicles, and that can be a lot of things, but mostly heavy trucks that can get stuff done for business. And I even throw nonprofits and organizations. For example, if you've got a church, you're not really a business, but you might need a church van, or you might need to haul your supplies around, or whatever it is that you do with your nonprofit work or your mission work. They've got vans for all that stuff down there. Vans, cargo vans and passenger vans, box trucks. I mean, the box truck is still the workhorse of a lot of industry, a lot of smaller industry, flatbeds, crane trucks, bucket trucks, and then plain straight, the basic, most stripped down, plain straight, bench seat with a truck bed, pickup truck you've ever seen just to haul your things around or move your, I call them shop trucks. Some people just need a truck to go pick up things and bring it back to the shop. They've got them. It's downtown Birmingham, of course, right there on 3rd Avenue South. Work Trucks, put an X in there, TRUX, WorkTrucksLLC.com, WorkTrucksLLC.com. Speaking of the Work Trucks location, that reminds me, around the corner is Birmingham Brucker, and then around the corner from there is Iron City. One more time to push y'all a little bit. I got to go out and hang out with my guys in Cattle last night. I'll be honest with y'all, I was too old to wait till 10 o'clock when they went on stage, so I just hung out with them backstage, and we talked a lot about Jawbone Jam and them getting to play with their friends and brother Kane, and of course another band, Stone Horses. Two Birmingham bands, but another band coming in. I think they're based out of the Washington, D.C. area, if I'm not mistaken. Incredible band. Three bands on a special night for us here at the station, 10th anniversary of Talk 99.5. And we do hope y'all will come and hang out with us. We've got more time to chill with the crowd and fellowship with the folks in the audience because a lot of us aren't responsible for the stage presentations this time, so we're super excited about that. Y'all, it is the Jawbone Jam. We named it that a couple years into the station being a couple of years old. We started off doing a couple of just station parties and birthday parties, and we had some terrible karaoke the first year. And then we turned it into a music event, and it's just been super popular. And I love Iron City. I think it's the best live music venue here in town. Although I will say, I went to the Jam Aid last night, and that new outdoor facility downtown, the what do they call it? The Highlands Marina. It's down in our Lakeview Marina. It's down in the Lakeview area. Really well done. It's an outdoor music venue, which you can't have enough of around Birmingham. They just did a really nice job. Even though it was kind of cold last night, surprisingly so, I didn't have a coat. But they had heaters, man. I couldn't believe it. They turned on all these heaters. I went, this is great. You could have outdoor stuff even in the winter down there. So anyway, little promo for Jawbone. Again, the date is May the 15th. We're 2 weeks out or so. And we really want to see you. So you can get online at Ticketmaster. It's easy to look it up real quick. Just look up Brother Kane, or you could look up Cattle, or you could try to look up Jawbone and see how they've referenced it. Same thing on the Iron City site. I think they just have all the upcoming bands on there, and you can click on the band and buy tickets directly from them. It's only $40 too, which is great for three headliner type bands. So we're excited. Y'all come hang out with us. And John Bird tells me that he's got some special costume picked up. AJ, you know he likes to dress up.
Yeah, he got his. I think he got his costume ready.
Have you seen it? Have you seen him in it yet, or dressed?
No. I don't. I'm not. He's not inviting me over for like. Can you check out this?
Yeah, I'm
costume?
glad to hear that. I knew you as a straight man, so I knew we were going to hold on to to our status as grown straight men.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't dress up like he did Billy Joel or Idol.
He was Billy Idol. I missed that. I was traveling that time, that job where he was Billy Idol. I missed that.
And then his car had died at that time, and I told him that, hey, I could help him out, but then there was the gay club that was not too far from there, and he was
and he had leather pants on too.
He had a leather vest, no shirt, and leather pants on.
Hold on, how did I miss this story? His car breaks down near the gay club, and he's dressed like Billy Idol from the 80s. Yes. John Bird. How did I miss this?
Yes.
What did he do, walk?
Yeah, he had to walk. He had to wait for his roommate to come get him. But I was like, bro, this was the wrong place to be walking like that.
Or just turn it on. Just, hi, can anybody help me?
That would have been, oh, gosh.
Bird, man. There you go, bro. Dude, I somehow missed that whole story. I was out west that year, and I couldn't make job.
Yeah.
See, you're right. Guys don't do dress up. I thought about that because do you know what's happening tonight for the ladies, for a lot of the, especially white ladies? I don't know if the sisters get into this or not, but the devil wears Prada too. Is Glenise, does she care about that? Ladies are just fashion, it's fashion movie.
No.
Man, they tried to drag me to that.
No.
I was like, no.
I didn't even realize that movie was coming out.
Oh, it's tonight.
Oh, is it?
Dude, they are dressing alike. The women, Jessica's got her daughter and a bunch of other moms with their daughters, and they're all dressing like matching colors. So you guys do not coordinate like that. That is not happening. Unless you're the kind of guy that would want to go see Devil Wears Prada too, and then you're all in.
Yeah. Well, there was one, though? There was a Devil Wore Prada?
Oh, yeah. I've been forced to watch it.
Oh.
And not only that, it's they're selling these. This is so. Hey, I do dumb stuff too. Look behind me on this video. See all these musical instruments? I will blow money on stuff. They're selling $90 popcorn purses to eat your popcorn out of. They're plastic.
Yeah.
Popcorn holders that look like purses. That's kind of a neat thing
that you can actually wear
with the big movies.
I actually talked about that on Breaking Bad. I just forgot that the movie was coming out this week.
Yeah, you talked about that on Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and movie theaters are doing this now, where they especially if it's like a popular movie, they'll have like these commemorative like popcorn buckets, and that's what they're doing with this one. They have it's a red purse.
Oh, I've seen. We had to go before the show yesterday and pick the thing up, so she'd have one. So they all want to take pictures with it, with the popcorn. And I'm ratting her out right now. So she went and got it. And, and I was I'm going to be home alone. Not happening.
Yeah. No. No, that's not happening. That's not happening in the house.
If I had to admit something, the first movie was kind of cute. I mean, I just go ahead and say it.
Oh.
We were on the road. We take turns picking movies. I don't know how you and Glennie sort it out, but when it's my turn, I try to not be too crazy with the war movies. The sad thing is she likes war movies, so I can't get one up on her. But then she'll pull a rom-com out, and I'm like, all right, go ahead. Your turn. It wasn't too bad.
Well, I mean, primarily I'm the one driving, so I don't get a chance to pick nothing. Because I can't see and drive at the same time. So
true that.
I'm the one that's driving everywhere. So, that
no, I'm not saying we watched it go down the road. I'm saying we were just on the road looking for something to watch because we weren't home and I couldn't get distracted and get up and leave.
Right.
So, so I watched it.
Yeah.
It's like my buddy said one time, he had the best answer to this ever. I was making fun of him. He came in to talk about watching this chick flick, and the next day he comes in and talking about watching a chick flick. It's like, dude, do you just watch chick flicks every night? He goes, yeah. And I said, he's a country boy. And I said, how come? He goes, because they got chicks in them. Touche.
Okay, all right. Well, can't argue against that.
That's a good straight man answer right there, son. But yeah, that's a big deal tonight. The thing is, if you are somehow allergic to squealing and perhaps that vibe, I would stay away from the movie theaters tonight. Because it's going to be the thing. You think it's on in like all the screens?
Well, it's going to be that. It's going to be either that type of noise or the Michael Jackson biopic. So,
true.
You just got to pick your poison.
Y'all have fun. I'm not hating. I'm just not doing it. That's all I'm saying. Well, Trump is live right now. I don't think we're going to go to it yet because this is going to go on forever. It's a red meat crowd. He is speaking to a huge crowd that's been lined up for hours at the Villages, Florida's horniest hometown. And he's speaking to all the old folks at the Villages that rolled up on their golf carts. This ought to be good, but I don't want to blow the whole show over it. So we're going to take the break. We'll get that in slightly earlier, technically on time, and then we'll come back and listen to see what Trump's saying. It's been a heck of a week for the presidency. Lanius Furniture Company bringing you the show tonight, LAUNIUS, LaniusFurnitureCompany.com. John, Reggie, all them. They got I'm going to go ahead and say it, they got a cute little gimmick. It's a nice sale for you too. Let's talk. This is the 92nd anniversary of Lanius. That company has been around selling furniture for homes for 92 years. I fancy to think there's probably a home somewhere around North Jefferson County that's still sitting on Lanius furniture from 92 years ago. It happens. Antiques. Who knows what beautiful things have passed through there over all this time. So Reggie reached out to me this week and said, I tell you what, we're going to have a special sale, and we are going to sell $92 off for every $1,000 you spend at Lanius Furniture Company to celebrate their birthday. So if you want to really do the math on it, that kind of gets you down to it's about a 10% off sale. How about that? So y'all do that, man. It's the big furniture sale, 92nd anniversary this week and through the weekend. So you got a little bit more time to get in on it, especially tomorrow with the weather and all. Just go to Lanius and spend all the time you want browsing and hanging out. They've got an acre of selection, and 92. Say you find a couch for $2,000, a big nice leather sectional or something like that. They're going to knock almost $200 off that thing. That's a savings. And everything in there is just gorgeous, well-built stuff. Y'all know how much I think of the store. Lanius Furniture Company, they're in Kimberly. A little bit of a drive for a lot of you, a big drive for a lot of you, but worth it. Even those of you coming all the way down. We got friends down in Prattville that have come all the way up to Kimberly to see Lanius, and they call bragging about the deals they got and the beauty of the place. Again, right off exit 280 on I-65, LaniusFurnitureCompany.com. To Trump now. He's speaking at the Villages. We'll listen to a little bit of this. This won't be a Q&A thing, so it won't get too out of hand, but we'll get a little tone from the president here before the bottom of the hour. Here's Trump live at the Villages.
But all of that changed the day I took the oath of office on January 20th, 2025. Under the Trump administration, we're standing up for American seniors like no president has ever stood up before. And just as I promised, we're strongly protecting Social Security and Medicare, and we always will. We have a man here who knows more about Medicaid, Medicare, medical crap than any human being. Where's Dr. Oz? Where the hell are you? Stand up. He's great. It's the most boring trip I've ever made. He's telling me about Medicare, Medicaid. All I want to do is take care of you. I don't care. I said, you work out the details, but I did say give them the max. That's all I care about. Give them whatever the hell the max is. But Oz has been great. You have been great. And Bobby's been great. He's a little different. Do you agree? We needed somebody a little different, and we got him in Bobby Kennedy, right? But they work together. And it's great. You know, I brought somebody else with me. He's central casting for a Treasury Secretary. If you're casting a movie, look at them. They're already excited. You know, a lot of people didn't know him. He was very successful, great success, actually, but people didn't know him. Now he walks down the street and people are asking for his autograph. It's crazy. Scott, stand up, please. Scott Bassett. They wanted to be here. You know, I gave him an option. I said, I can meet you guys later. No, you're going to the Villages. We want to be with you, so it's sort of cool. We got a lot of celebrities here, actually. But together with the Republicans in Congress, we've removed nearly 300,000 illegal aliens from the Social Security roll. And we've removed more than 100,000 migrants from Medicare eligibility. 100,000, and the number's going up. What we're really doing is saving Social Security because it was so rife with fraud, and the Democrats didn't care. They couldn't care less. All they care about is Trump derangement syndrome. They are sick. They are lunatics. We're dealing with lunatics. You can do, but I've learned, you know, with time, I've learned, if I want something, I go the opposite. In other words, if I want the wall, I say, I will not, under any circumstances, build the wall. And they give me all the money I want. Sure, just go the opposite. They're crazy. They're crazy. It actually is a disease. I think they're going to register it next week. Trump derangement syndrome. They're going to TDS. It's commonly known as TDS. This man has an incurable case of TDS. To further stop Medicare and Medicaid from being looted by criminals and thugs, we've launched a war on fraud. You've been watching it in the papers. We're all over Minnesota, California, all over the place. They're taking down hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of people a week and a day. It's led by great Vice President J.D. Vance. He's doing a great job. I said, J.D., I want that job. I want to do it as president. They said, you better, let's do a little delegation, please. But J.D.'s done a great job. Thousands and thousands of people are it's a fraud. I mean, look at the wonderful country. It's a beautiful country. You should try it sometime. Somalia. It's a beautiful place. It's got no government. It's got no military. It's got no anything. It's got one thing that's really strong, crime. It's got a lot of crime. They have no police. All they do is run around shooting each other. It's filthy dirty, disgusting dirty. It's a horrible place. They come here, and Ilhan Omar, you ever hear of her? She heads it. And think of it. They have nothing but crime, poverty, pollution. Everything is horrible over there. Nothing good. They say it's the worst country anywhere in the world, that we got some beauties out there, but it's the worst. And then she comes here from Somalia, and she tells us how to run the United States of America. She says, the Constitution gives me certain rights, And I demand that I be given these rights. Get the hell out. What a phony. And then she married a brother to come in. I don't know, you're not. But I would imagine they're looking at her. I have nothing to do with it. I would imagine. Of course I have nothing to do. I have nothing, but I believe she married her brother, which is totally illegal. Although it's a lovely couple, actually, but it's a little bit on the illegal side. Darling, I love you very much. Good night, brother. Let's go to bed. Good night. Isn't she despicable? I can't stand watching her. I can't stand. Did you see last month, she accidentally checked the wrong box. It said she was worth $38 million. And law enforcement came after her for that. And then all of a sudden, she was worth less than $80,000. And she said it was accounting. It was an accounting error. That was not a very good accountant, was it? Huh? No, their whole life is based on fraud and a scam. The whole thing is a scam, and we ought to get those people the hell out of our country. To get better care to our seniors much more quickly, my administration has dramatically accelerated Medicare prior authorization's a big deal. That's what used to take days and weeks and months to get, and now you're getting it done in a matter of minutes. Really, I mean, unbelievable job you've done. Minutes. And we have a big search for fraud. Very little. You know, when people get arrested all over Minnesota, all over California, wait till you see what we're coming up with in California. Gavin Newsom is not good.
Good Lord, he is slinging the red meat to that crowd, and they're eating it up, of course, going after Ilhan and the like. I guess that's a pretty good Friday night if you're the president. We're continuing to follow it. If anything bombastic happens or any of these lunatics try to kill him again, we'll let you know. Otherwise, we're going to keep going with our Friday. We're going to have a special guest in the 5 o'clock hour, somebody I didn't expect. We'll tell you about that later. She just reached out and texted us, and I was like, all right, yep. Let's come on the radio and talk about something going on this weekend. Y'all, it is Leland Live, talking in at M5. Here's the bottom of the hour. Back here in a minute. Man, FloorTech Concrete Coatings is the newest sponsor to join the show. And I always learn. I want to know everything about a new sponsor's business. So went over to meet with Kevin and tour the company and get their sales pitch, see what their product is and why it's better. And I don't know that I've ever met a company owner that just dove into, he was so excited about their product. We didn't make any small talk. He didn't want to talk about the weather or football. He said, let me show you. And we go out to the warehouse and he starts showing me how everything's put together to do this amazing work they do on people's concrete floors. So this usually applies to garages, but some people have retail build outs or other concrete surfaces that you want to be protected from stains and oils and paint and other stuff that happens, and also look good all the time. It's both a protector and it beautifies and protects your concrete. I did a project like this on my own with one of those do-it-yourself kits years ago, and it didn't last but a few months. And I learned why. Hot tires, when you come in from the road and you pull into one of these garages and then you turn in your tires to wiggle in there, it eventually will just grip that stuff and pull it right loose. And sure enough, it pulled loose. And then immediately, most of these products, almost every product except for FloorTech's, will yellow. And I wouldn't have known why, but I've seen people to put them in and then they just look kind of dingy right after the installation. Listen, and even when it's professionally installed, it all comes down to the ingredients. It's the product. So, man, they put me through basically a chemistry class to show me why their product is just simply better. It bonds better. It's not going to yellow. It's not going to stink. You know what causes the stink? It's all these solvents that they put into the paint product. Before it ever goes on your floor, it's all thinned out with these things that smell for 2 weeks as it off gases. And it's so thinned out, it's just not going to last. It's going to fail like all the products fail. Kevin and his team decided this is a huge industry and a huge need. Why do all these products, why are they all so bad? So they figured that out. They said, well, let's leave that out and have a more pure product. And that's what they've got at FloorTech. You spell it with a K. It's locally owned and operated, and you need them to come give you, they'll give you the same. They've got an interesting demonstration of what the chemicals in their product do. You can custom color anything, even pick the amount of chips or color flecks that you want to put into the finish, and they'll design all that with you right there on a computer screen, and then they're there for install. Dries in 24 hours, installs in 1 day, and you got a completely different place. It is an amazing product. If you want a nicer looking floor or to protect your floor with this product, y'all reach out to FloorTech. They spell it with a K, and by that I mean it's Floor, T-E-K, FloorTechCoatings.com, FloorTechCoatings.com. Y'all get them to come over and give you a once around and show you how it works. You'll be so impressed. I like to buy the good, at my age, there are some things you can't go cheap on. You can't go cheap on shoes and things that you want to be last. You can't go cheap on furniture. You got to put the right stuff on your home when it comes to all of your home stuff. And this is the stuff. FloorTechCoatings.com. Y'all reach out to them. Tell them we said hello and get them over to your house. And let's get that done this summer. All right, Trump's still going at it. Before I get back, I may go back to some of that. But before I do, I wanted to bring this up from the assassination attempt last weekend. Can you believe it's barely been a week, not even a week, since somebody tried to kill the president. And we quit talking about it after 2 days. We have so normalized and mainstreamed that kind of radical, idiotic violence from these people who are still, none of them that added to the toxic atmosphere that inspired this screwed up young man. None of them have backed off a bit from what they do and say about this president. They're making him a legitimate target of their derision because they can't beat him any other way. They have to cheat at the elections. They've tried to sue him. They've tried to put him in jail. Now they're trying to kill him. I'm almost certain it's going to happen again. And we used to never talk about that out loud. You didn't say it. It was taboo. Can you imagine a time where for 8 years while Obama was president, every day we talked about somebody trying to kill him? And there was this vitriolic coverage. And yeah, I mean, he was roundly criticized, but nobody tried to kill him. And even to discuss that would make you a villain yourself. Even to bring it up was like, well, I think he's probably going to get shot. Nobody would dare say that. They talk about with Trump like it's a betting market. When will he be shot at next? So here he is the very next weekend doing an event at the villages. Same Secret Service around. But this is what I was trying to get to with the Secret Service. We learned a little more yesterday with a new video that came out, was higher resolution. And it appears, according to the Secret Service, when the gunman was running toward them, he did get a shot off at an officer that turned around and returned fire. And he's the one that fired off all the rounds that were fired. So it was the two of them in the exchange. He had buckshot. We have determined in that shotgun, and he got one shot, and that's how it went down. And it was just a flash. It was within under 3 seconds, the whole episode. He didn't get closer than 120 yards from the president, but that's close enough. But here's the more interesting thing that came out of the surveillance yesterday. There was a guy with a police dog, and I don't know if he was with DC police or he was with the Secret Service, but he had one of the dogs, and I've been around these dogs. They're incredible. The dog appears in the same video. It's way in the background to have hit on this shooter before he began his run toward to try to get in the breach the perimeter. So let me try to describe it to you. He walks past the police dog and goes through a set of glass doors to leave, and the dog alerts and tries to go after him and follow him. The dog sensed something about this guy, the shooter, and the dog's handler pulled the dog back. And in the video, it appears he's having a conversation with the gunman. Has no idea he's loaded. So here's the gunman standing just outside the door. I think the door is kind of propped open. The dog approaches the guy, tries to go after him through the door. The handler pulls the dog back. They have an exchange of words, and just within a split second, the guy just run past the dog and the handler toward the magnetometers, and then he got taken down. Isn't that amazing? The dog picked up on something all the humans missed. And then the human that was handling the dog missed the dog signal, it appears. Now, I will tell y'all, and this is where some people could be getting this wrong. When these dogs are trained, they're not always, in other words, you and I if we have a dog on a leash, I just walked mine 3 miles today. They're just little terrors. We had to get them some exercise, and they'll pull on the leash and they'll investigate things and they'll sniff on things. That's a dog. And even these surveillance dogs, so to speak, these security dogs will do a little bit of that. They pay attention to what's going on around them. But the way they're trained is sometimes their signal when they have hit on, if they detect a gun or if they detect a bomb or if they detect drugs, they don't really bark and lurch and do things that a normal dog would do. They're trained to be more subtle, and a lot of these dogs will just sit down. And that's the signal to the handler. The dog will just sit down next to what it's found, and that's how it gets its reward. That's what it's trained to do. There are reasons for that, because sometimes if you're, say you're on a traffic stop and you've got a bomb dog or something and you're going through cars, if the dog were to get alert and alarmed and start barking at something that it found, it's going to alert the person that may have the bomb in the car. You don't even want the person in the car to know that you're on to them. That's a security feature. And so the dogs will subtly they'll sniff it out, and then there's always a signal that the dog knows to tell the handler what to do. In this case, I don't think just lurching toward the gunman was the trained signal. I'm not trying to give a pass to the handler, but I just know this from a lot of experience working around these folks and actually doing investigative pieces on how these dogs are trained. I did one of the most fascinating series I ever did back in the TV days was I spent a week working with the handlers and learning how these dogs are trained and what they're capable of doing. They are amazing. They're so intelligent. I couldn't tell the breed from the video, but I'm going to be willing to let the authorities sort out what's happening. It is unfair for us to Monday morning quarterback these brave people that go out there every day, and they did their job. There are always going to be things that go wrong in any scenario, and the shooter is always going to find the weak spots. I saw an idiot today online, and there's some of the dumbest people that have never been part of any kind of investigation or any kind of police activity, that know nothing about shooters, guns, shooting, event management, security, none of the. If you want to know about security, listen to Brady on Saturday. But if you want to listen to morons online, just get on X and watch all these internet detectives decide to look at clues from a video from a room that they've never been in and deduce what's not adding up. Some of these idiots start the minute an event happens. Something's not adding up here. Why, I'm so intelligent, I've noticed a gap in the information. Idiots. Here's one of them. One of them today, I saw a post. How did the shooter know the exact stairwell that was not being guarded? How is that possible? The implication is somebody tipped him off, or it's an inside job. One, they're not guarding every stairwell in the building. And if you were the shooter, would you go down the one with the guard on it, or keep checking until you went down one without the guard on it? In other words, yeah, the shooter's going to look for avenues of opportunity. Any shooter, any situation, just even the Butler shooter looked for that roof. He spotted something that the security did not, and he took advantage of the lack of security. They're going to go to the path of least resistance until they get stopped. And that's exactly what this guy did too. You just got a lot of illiterate, stupid people that get all over social media, and they've got volume just like an actual trained expert would have if they were to post about these events online. We've all got the same internet accounts. So absolute morons that are part of our failed public education system can try to be internet detectives and just really put a lot of bad information out. Y'all don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Some of it is bots. It's international propaganda. It has nothing to do with anybody that knows anything. And if you click on it, the algorithm's going to send you more of the same stuff and it's reinforcing. And then you think you're onto something too. And you're as big a fool as they are if you stay in it. Stay out of that. Use your common sense. And let's wait for more information to come out. All right, Trump's still talking. I don't even know what he's talking about, but I got to take a break. We'll go back and dip into some of that in a minute. Hey, we can throw the phone lines up too, start getting some calls in here, 545-9950. Again, I told you about Lonnie's Furniture Company. 92 years. They're celebrating 92 years the rest of the week and the weekend. Just something small, just as a token of their anniversary. They're knocking $92 off every $1,000 you spend at Lonnie's. So I made the point last hour. You buy a nice leather piece or a whole sectional for a couple of grand, you'll save almost $200. That's pretty good. On top of their already fair prices, incredible, impeccable quality, unbelievable selection. You'll just walk in there and go, wow, this is going to take a minute. And you'll be walking around for a little while. Every room in the home, even outside, it's a complete furniture store with some of the kindest, most helpful people you will ever work with when you're picking out furniture. And that's the good team at Lonnie's. And save that $92 for their 92nd anniversary. If you've been around 92 years, you know what you're doing. It's Lonnie's Furniture Company. Let me spell it in case you want to go online and look for the address or look up some of the brands. You'll know all the brands. Launius, Lonnie'sFurnitureCompany.com. They're off exit 280 off I-65 in Kimberly, Alabama. Back in a minute. All right, let's keep doing this thing, man. I can't believe we're almost done with the week. This has been a very, you knew it was going to be something starting Saturday, and we had no idea we'd be dealing with the Trump thing for a couple of days, and boom, Supreme Court does what it does, and then the week has just been set since then. By the way, Michelson Laser Vision bringing you the show tonight. Dr. Mark, Dr. Jennifer, downtown Birmingham. UAB Highlands is so easy to navigate, and I always tell people that. Some people are hesitant if you're not a downtown person. You don't go down there a whole lot. This is a hospital that's off of that main campus. It's not right there in the main complex where you feel like, I always say it's like going to the airport. You get in a deck and you just go through catwalks and buildings trying to find things. And, we're lucky to have UAB. It's an incredible facility and an economic engine driver. But boy, that place is big. The Highlands office, or the Highlands building, is a few blocks over from there. There was a time I had to be over at Michelson for a visit, and my mom was in the hospital at UAB, and I was able to walk in between. It's about 3 or 4 blocks, but y'all, they've got a dedicated parking lot. You go right in the front door, up the elevator to the 5th floor, and there they are. So easy to visit, easy to. They don't waste your time. I'm just kind of going through some of the things that happen when you go to the normal doctor practice. You go and you sign up for a 1 o'clock, and then you're sitting in the lobby for 45 minutes. And then they take you back and you get excited. And then you sit on the paper for another 45 minutes. You never know when you're going to be able to get back to work. Michelson's much more efficient. They bring you straight back. They give you a quick exam, thorough exam, talk to you, spend all the time you want, but they're not going to waste your time. For your initial visit, it might take a little longer. They got to get to know you and check your eyes and let you participate in that program that teaches you of how it all works. I'm telling you, it was that made me realize this was something that made sense, and I wanted to try it after years of putting it off. So I'm trying to encourage you 4 eyes. If y'all are out there with your glasses and your contacts on like I was for all that time, go see them. And it's not just about style or how you look, because some of y'all look pretty good in glasses. What it is, it's really about the encumbrance of those things hanging on your face in the rain and then getting dirty in the fog, and when your prescription gets out of date. And the same thing with contacts. I was the worst contact wearer ever, and I hadn't had to think about that in almost 7 years. I'm crystal clear. I'm 2015. It's because of the miracle of LASIK and the talent of the Michelson family, Dr. Mark and his daughter, Dr. Jennifer. Michelson Laser Vision, downtown, UAB Highlands, MichelsonLaserVision.com. All right, man, just so many things going on today. By the way, the story we got into yesterday, that was all over the internet, and some people were immediately duped by it. I called it the Jussie Smollett of sexual harassment scandals. Turned out that was a complete fabrication. And the New York Post had smoked it out by yesterday afternoon after this woman, this CEO at JP Morgan, had been trashed all over the internet, memes created about her. We move so fast with the public ridicule of people that find themselves thrust into the spotlight. This was a random executive with great credentials and background that suddenly has found her face on memes that continue today. And a lot of people that were just completely duped into reading these salacious accusations that this loser brought against this woman. His story fell apart immediately for several reasons once the facts got out. And I'm being vague on purpose. I know some of y'all have kids in the car. We don't need to go back to the stuff he made up. By the way, his language was so over top. That was what made it so Jussie Smollett-like. It was too perfect an accusation. In other words, it was too not in the real world. It was kind of AI almost. So he goes after this woman, and she was not his immediate supervisor, had no authority whatsoever over his promotions. We're not even sure they've ever met or knew each other at the firm. This guy had been fired or was being separated from JP Morgan, and he tried to pull a racial stunt because he's Indian by his background. So he tried to pull a race hustle against JP Morgan to get a multi-million-dollar settlement, and he lost that. And they told him, no, it was stupid. His claim was stupid. So then he goes off to another firm because these guys bounce around with different firms. Then he pulled this out. The whole thing was a shakedown, not against her. She was being used in the shakedown to get a big settlement from JP Morgan. They sicked an entire team of lawyers and HR people on the case and could find no evidence whatsoever. In fact, they found evidence to the contrary that this dude even said any, concocted any of this stuff. The stupid thing is he put an insult to his own wife in the complaint, which, by the way, I understood yesterday got withdrawn from the courts. This dude got under the microscope, thought he just pulled this off behind the scenes, and now it should be just as ridiculed online as the woman, the target of his. Again, J.P. Morgan was the target for the money, but she was the person that was used. So he's pulled the lawsuit. The whole thing was a charade, and he should go to prison over it. I mean, that's a criminal type extortion. But he put an insult. He called his wife a fish head in the complaint. I don't know much about his wife, but he attributed that quote to this executive that he was blaming. And of course, she didn't say that. He said that in this Jussie Smollett complaint. You just can't write this stuff. I think he was only in his 30s. Why are people in their 30s nowadays so childish? I mean that. My grandparents' generation, they had gone off and fought World War II, come home, had 5-year kids, built a house, and got a job by the time they were that age. I mean, they were halfway done with life, man. They'd gone off and beat the Nazis and come home and established the country. And these kids can't even get their crap together at that age. Anyway, so there's that. Just a follow-up from the crazy show we had yesterday. 545-9950. We'll go to the top of the hour, Leland Live, Talk 99.5.